What is going on, guys? Today we'll be talking about the NFL draft. We're going to be doing a mock draft today. Just kidding, guys. This is Heel Turns and High Spots, coming to you guys with your wrestling news. Today we'll be discussing AEW Dynamite from April 27th, 2022. Before we get into that, guys, follow our Twitters. You guys can see it below our screens right now. And you can see our Twitter at the bottom, at HTurn and HSpots. If you do enjoy this video, please smash that like and subscribe button. And Charlie, how we doing? I know you're a little under the weather right now, which is why we didn't get to hear from you yesterday. And that is also why we have a photo of you up right now. But how you doing?
Call me Hangman Adam Page because I have the vid. But it definitely could be worse considering. But yeah, we had a great card last night, and I'm definitely excited to talk about it.
We did. Before we get into that, I do want to talk about Hangman Adam Page, like you just said. The show had to be written last night due to the fact that Hangman Adam Page being out due to COVID, and that is from Fightful. So, obviously, I thought that was a pretty good show from for what we got. I mean, if it had to be rewritten, pretty good show.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm just looking at the show so far, and nothing felt out of place or anything. The only thing that was a little bit odd is the CM Punk promo, but it was uniquely odd. I liked it.
Yeah, so I would assume that after the Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler match, Hangman Adam Page and Punk were supposed to, have some kind of interaction, but obviously that had to be called off due to the fact that Hangman had COVID. So then they just sent Punk out there to do a promo. Was probably what ended up happening.
Yep.
But so yeah. So this episode is gonna work a little bit different. Because we don't want Charlie. Being out of breath and putting stress on his voice. So I'm going to be doing the play-by-play today, and then Charlie's just going to be giving his feedback.
Yeah, and once again, Freeman, thank you so much for doing what you need to do.
Yes, sir. I got it handled. I'll hold the fort down for us.
Hell yeah.
So let's get into it. So the first match was the Dax Harwood versus Cash Wheeler here. And what was unique about this is that both of them came out at the same time with their theme music. Dax was on the face tunnel on the right. Cash was on the heel side on the left. So that was pretty interesting right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. I think Cash never really played the heel at all through the match. So I think it was just a really cool visual. I saw some people on Twitter reading into that a little bit too much, and just one of those things that people are just looking into things.
Yeah, it was definitely funny though when me and you both texted each other at the same time.
Yeah, you're just like, all right, what tunnel came out of what tunnel?
Yeah, yep. But this match had a lot of references to a lot of Bret Hart matches, Bret versus Owen, Bret versus Mr. Perfect. A lot of like the 1993 and King of the Ring matches. There was a Bam Bam Bigelow versus Bret reference, Razor Ramon versus Bret references. So definitely a lot of King of the Ring and WrestleMania 10 references here, and it's great to see them paying homage to one of the best that's ever do it in Bret Hart.
Yeah, 100% agree. I'm actually in the process of I put on King of the Ring 1993 this morning and catching some of the references because I actually wasn't privy to it before people educated me.
Yeah.
So I went out of my way and watched it, and those matches are just like my favorite style of wrestling matches, I guess, and I didn't really know that until now. Once you get into the match, I'll go into it further, but like the match that Cash and Dax put on is my favorite kind of wrestling match.
Yeah, this was a great match. So let's get into it. Match begins. Chants of FTR. Great, great to hear that those chants. There was a tie up back and forth. Then they came together again for a handshake. They tie up again. Cash puts Dax in an arm lock. He hits two shoulder tackles. Dax takes control, but Cash takes it right back. back and forth still. Dax puts his thumb in Cash's eye by accident, and Cash shoves him, and then shoulders him right to the midsection, followed by 2 hard chops. Those were some hard chops.
Oh yeah, you know these boys were gonna go hard tonight.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
yep. Headlock by Dax. Dax then superplexes Cash. Then Dax misses a splash. High risk. That's going to happen from time to time. Cash then knocks Dax out of the ring. And Cash hops outside with him. He throws Dax back inside, covers him for a 2 count. Dax chops Cash in the corner. And then Cash headbutts him all the way to the other corner. Dax turns it back around on Cash, and Cash throws a full speed Dax into the corner, and Dax hits the turnbuckle pads full speed, so Dax just falls to the ground. Cash hit 3 suplexes, followed up by 1 by Dax. Cash hit a back elbow. Both men then just collide in the ring and then get up after a 7 count. That was a great spot. Uppercuts back and forth. Dax then comes in with a jackknife roll up for a 2 count, followed by another close 2 count. Dax flips over Cash, and this was when you before I read this next part, this is when you kind of realized that somebody was going to win by a roll up, because one of the announcers even said that this was probably going to be a roll up finish.
Oh yeah, they were throwing them left and right,
yeah.
and it just makes sense for the match too, because kind of what Punk was alluding to, you weren't gonna see like eye gouges or anything, like boot scrapes, none of that. This was gonna be a technical finish, and it's exactly what it was.
Yeah, exactly. Dax flips over Cash, and then Cash reverses a springboard power bomb into a Hurricane Rana for a 2 count. Dax then hits a slingshot Liger bomb for a 2 count, and the crowd was just chanting FTR at the top of their lungs at this point. Dax gets another close 2 count on Cash. Dax gets hit with a pile driver for a 2 count. Cash was then going for a superplex on the top rope, and then Harwood came crashing down on top of him for a 2 count. Both men spilled out the side of the ring, and Cash at this point was clutching his right knee. Both men getting in at a 9 count. Dax went for the sharpshooter. Cash rolls up Dax for a 2 count. Dax then counters into a roll-up for a 3 count, and he qualifies into the Owen Hart tournament. After the match, FTR embraces. This match was good, but it definitely wasn't better than like FTR versus Briscoe. But this was overall a great wrestling match, and I'm happy with the way we opened the show. As Charlie said on the pre-show yesterday, we did in fact get Cult of Personality to kick off AEW.
Yeah, I absolutely loved this match. I talk all the time about how I need the wrestling to be realistic, right? Like,
Yep.
It needs to look like a grappling match, and this looked like a grappling match through and through. There were counters, a bunch of headlocks, arm drags, and it just felt like 2 men grappling, 2 guys who knew each other like the back of their hands grappling. The reversals were great, and yeah, it was a fantastic match.
Yeah,
9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I don't know if I said this. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Just for the fact, because I didn't want to rate it higher than the FTR and Briscoe's match. So, but you definitely got to be very I'm being very cautious of my ratings now. So.
Yeah. So me as well. I actually rated the Briscoes match a 10. So
yeah.
It still lines up for me. There it is.
I do want to mention, I don't think I mentioned this at the top of the show too. We do have a TikTok channel that we're posting a lot of content on, and that is just it's spelled out without caps, heel turns and high spots, no caps and all one word. So we're posting a lot of there. Charlie's actually posting a lot of his GCW clips, so that's sick. And we hope to see more of that.
Yeah, so a lot of the clips that I have aren't necessarily YouTube friendly, so I won't be able to post them in shorts. But TikTok, I can. If you can just think of GCW death matches, you probably could guess why I can't post the clips. A lot of stabbing and poking and
Yep.
blood. We don't need that on YouTube, but our TikTok, that's free game over there. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you're into that kind of stuff, yeah, look over there.
Yeah. So continuing on here with Dynamite, Charlie, we get a Double or Nothing announcement. CM Punk versus Hangman Adam Page in a match at Double or Nothing, May 29th. Here we are. It is up on the screen now. And I'm pumped for this match. We're a month away. But you got to think Hangman's probably off next week too. He might be back.
Yep.
He might be back, but I think I don't know how like AEW's policy is. Obviously, but so he's either gonna be back Wednesday or the week after Wednesday. They got 3 weeks to build to this match. I would like to see probably Hangman in another match before, and I would like to see Punk in another match before.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree with you. As much as I love Hangman's reign so much, I do. I would like to see him in maybe a little bit less title matches.
Yeah.
More matches where he can just get a pin on somebody nice and easy. Give him a few of those. Give Punk maybe 1 or 2 more of those, and yeah, it'll be nice and set up. Now, what I am interested to see is Punk going to be playing the heel here, or are we going to have babyface versus babyface?
Yeah, I really don't know, but by the way that it sounds like we're probably going to do babyface versus babyface, because that's just the way that it sounded like CM Punk was talking last Wednesday. So that's what I think. It's probably going to be babyface versus babyface, but obviously we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, so it's going to be difficult to build type for this one for sure with babyface versus babyface. However, like we were literally just talking about a few minutes ago, like literally a minute ago, with matches, you can easily build this boy up without the need of, gunslinging promos. Like, you don't even need to do anything close to Punk versus MJF, Just 2 good wrestlers going at it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what it's going to be, and it's going to be interesting to see who wins this match.
Yeah, I really hope Punk doesn't win as much as I love Punk. I think the worst thing he can do is take the title off of the company's babyface, personally. I think that later down the line, I don't know, maybe I don't even know who he would take the title off of, but I don't think this is Punk's time, personally.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Punk kind of alluded to the fact that he wouldn't win. He said something today. Let's get into the promo and I'll talk more about it. But he said, "How about Dax and Cash? Ladies and gentlemen, I've never been in a locker room with more talent than here in AEW. I asked myself a question, and that question was if I could still do it. And now I can say that I can still do it. I'm a fan of Adam Page, not to disparage anyone I've worked with, except for maybe Eddie Kingston. Darby Allin to Dustin Rhodes, I've been getting warmed up, and I can't promise a win, but I promise I will give you 100%. Without you, there is no me. Without you, I don't come back. Without you, I don't even make a Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing is in Vegas. I've never been a gambling man, but I will always bet on myself. Win, lose, or draw, you will know you have been with CM Punk, and I will continue to fight until the wheel comes off." Great promo by Punk.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I mean, obviously, it's a Punk promo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this one.
Yeah. So just by the way that he said, "But promise I will give you 100%. Without you, there is no me. Without you, I don't come back." I think he's just preparing us for him not winning, honestly.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah, yes. I guess there's nothing else to say. It's not Punk's time, in my opinion. Very well documented.
And I'm wondering if MJF is after Punk.
MJF's got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, but I mean, after his match with Wardlow at Double or Nothing, I mean, he's gonna move on to something better. So,
that's a great point, brother.
Yeah.
We might does that mean MJF goes over Wardlow? Because he can't lose to Wardlow and then go for the world championship shot. That doesn't make any sense.
I think he loses to Wardlow and then he gets built back up.
All right, so they won't be able to do that until a few months after Double or Nothing. Then
They'll probably be able to do that for the pay-per-view.
the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
In enough time. Well, actually, you might even need more time than that. That's a big loss, brother. That's a big loss.
Well, you know, it all depends how Tony Khan books it too.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
yes.
But carrying on here, we get a American Top Team backstage segment. Dan Lambert says Scorpio Sky does not find himself fighting for the TNT by some coincidence. Scorpio Sky says, no, this is not a coincidence. I was one half of the first ever tag team champions. I went on to win Face of the Revolution ladder match and had a 402-day winning streak, leading me to become TNT champion only to be screwed out of my second title defense. I didn't plan on asking Frankie to step aside to plan on losing, and I give you your credit. This Philly crowd wants me to beat your ass. There can only be one face of TNT, and you're looking at it. You know, I just wanted this match to be over, honestly. We talked about this. We kind of talked about it. I think on last week's Dynamite show. So we both kind of were over with this, and I still felt the same way at this point.
Yeah, I think it's with no fault of, you know, I highly doubt it wasn't Sammy's, how do I word this? I find it really hard to doubt that it was Sammy who came to Tony Khan like, hey, put me and Ty on TV together. You know, we could be like the king and queen baby faces.
Yeah, there's no way.
So, no, I'm saying that he probably did.
Oh.
I'm saying that he probably did. So no fault of Scorpio Sky, yes, fault of Sammy. It's just like, we didn't need this, and the crowd instantly hated it, and they were kind of booked into this corner, and the wrestlers themselves, and we'll get into it more in the main event, they did everything they had to do. They put on good wrestling matches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no fault of the wrestlers, fault on the booking. I want to make that extremely clear.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later, like you said. But I don't know. I mean, I just want this feud. Hopefully, this feud's over now. Well, I mean, we kind of talked about it before the show, but it's obviously not over because they still have yet to do the mixed tag team match. But
yeah, which is so unnecessary. And what happens if Sammy and Tay win that match? Does that mean Sammy gets another fucking shot? Are they gonna go back, forth? I don't even know, man.
I don't even know, man. I do not.
Hopefully, Scorpio Sky and Paige Van Zandt just win.
Yeah.
Outright. Hopefully, they just win, and then Sammy and Tay can just move on to do whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe get off our TV for a little bit. We need a break from them.
We do. They don't like. Let's just we'll continue that conversation when we get to it.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Blackpool Combat Club versus the Factory. QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Camarado. And I just wanted to make one comment that Wheeler's tights looked great here. It was just white tights, and then they said BCC in blood, and I just wanted to say that was a nice touch.
Yeah, he's got good tights. We've said it before. He needed new tights, and the man got some new tights.
He did. 2 pairs.
Mm-hmm.
Moxley finally gets into the ring, and then Blackpool Combat Club takes it to the Factory. Mox goes right after Nick. Danielson throws QT out of the ring, and Yuta throws Aaron Soul outside as well. Moxley's in the ring with Nick and until Nick takes control and tags in Aaron Solo. Moxley flips Aaron, puts Aaron on the ropes, strikes his face, covers for a 2 count. Wheeler tags himself in and gets a nice home crowd pop and chant. I guess this was Yuta's hometown.
Yeah.
Where do you know where this was at?
Philly.
Oh, duh. Yes. So the Philly faithful gave him a nice pop and a nice chant. Drop kick and a cover on the apron, or not on the apron, cover, and Aaron kicks out. Um, Solo tags in and delivers a back body drop, and we cut to commercial. After the break, Solo tags in QT, and Yuta hits a German suplex on QT. Regal compared Yuta to a cheetah, and then which I thought was very interesting because
Inaccurate.
accurate because Yuta just he's kind of like Moxley when you watch him, like he just moves so effortlessly and smoothly in that ring.
Yeah, 100%. He's like butter, man.
Yeah, like butter. Yuta tags in Danielson. Danielson uppercuts followed by chops, and then followed by kicks in the corner. Danielson then hits a tope suicida, takes out the factory. He gets back in and he kicks the chest of Aaron Solo. The crowd was yes chanting him all the way. Solo rolls up Danielson. Danielson kicks out and then turns it into a label lock, but QT breaks it up. At this point, Mox and Danielson were looking at each other's opponents in the corners, and they ended up trading lariats to each other's opponents, and then Danielson drop kicked in midair. We got to add it to the counter. The moves in midair counter. I'm going to change that right now so I don't forget. And Danielson tags in Yuta and gets thrown across the ring by Nick. And then Yuta locks in the guillotine, and then Yuta transitioned up to the top of Nick's. He was on Nick's shoulders basically, and then he started elbowing. Yuta started elbowing Nick, and then until Danielson and Moxley tied up the factory, and then Yuta rolls up Nick for the win. This was a pretty good match. I gave this match a 6 out of 10. I mean, I don't know. I think they could have did better with that ending, honestly.
Yeah, so I wouldn't. This is kind of like one of those weird in between squash match and normal match kind of things where it's like kind of runs like 5 to 7 minutes, but you know who's gonna win the entire time.
Yeah.
You know, and it just like I don't know. I feel like this would have went over better if they just
squashed them.
But buried them. Yeah, exactly. I feel like this would have went over better. It was just a weird match. I have it as a 5. My 5 is my I didn't hate it, I didn't mind it rating. Like which it just happened. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I gave it a 5. I would have liked it, as weird as it sounds, more if it was a lot shorter.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. But I mean, still a good move nonetheless. BCC is still undefeated. And I mean, that's going to be a point as we continue on here.
And Yuta's turning into one of my favorite wrestlers right now. Danielson is my favorite wrestler, and Yuta is almost a carbon copy of him so far.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm going to have to agree with you. I was even thinking about getting that new shirt, along with the new Undisputed Elite shirt.
Yeah, yep.
But moving on, we get a backstage segment between Britt Baker, Tony Storm, and Jamie Hayter. Britt Baker says, Tony Schiavone introduces and then them, and Britt Baker says, "That's right, no physicality, Tony. We won't get you, but that means no leaving either. We just want to chat." Obviously, that was in reference to Tony Storm leaving last week. Tony Storm says, "That's okay. I'm not going anywhere. I know your little friend, and I'll see her in the first round. But Britt, meet my friend." Ruby Soho walks in. Britt, I've noticed every time someone new shows up, I don't know if you're just insecure because you lost your title, but Britt, you always have something to say, and I believe that the late great Owen Hart once said, "Enough is enough," but it's time for a change. I can't think of a more better way to make that change than to drop you both right here. Jamie says, "Let's go," and then Britt says, no physicality. I have stuff to do. We're going to go visit your home and catering. Points at Tony Storm, and then her and Jamie Hayter walk off. And then Ruby says to Tony, "I feel like they told you to leave, but then they left." And then Tony says, "That's okay." I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you weren't really doing anything with Ruby, so why not throw her in this feud?
Yeah.
Gives her something 100%. To do.
Yeah. Ruby's literally doing zero
Yeah.
things and hasn't been like the past 2 months.
Yeah, so I'm 100% okay with this this promo here, and I'm interested to see. I guess I'm interested to see where this match leads.
Yeah, it hopefully leads to, Britt versus Jamie Hayter somewhere along the line. He can get that feud started.
Yeah.
And, I feel like Britt and Ruby, they had a match, gosh, it might have been like a month after her debut, so like probably about 6 months ago, and it was actually really good.
Yeah, they did.
So it sounded like it's going to be Britt versus Ruby Soho in the first round, and that's bound to be a good one.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. It should definitely be a good one. I don't know when the tournament is kicking off. It might be, I want to say it's the 16th of May.
Really, that late?
Oh, let me. Owen Hart. They just announced it yesterday, and I missed the date. So, but my whole point was we will have a prediction for that show. It looks like it is going to be taken on. It says it's yet to be announced, but they literally announced it yesterday. I don't know. We'll keep you posted on that, guys. Stay tuned to our Twitters, and we'll get you guys that information ASAP.
Yeah, 100%. And like Freeman was alluding to, we'll have the show, and we'll go through both the men's and women's brackets and kind of get like a March Madness thing going.
Yep. We'll have we'll turn it into a nice show of images of it all and everything. So we'll get some stuff working on it. We got some stuff in the works. That is for sure. We then moving on. We then get a Jurassic Express promo. Jungle Boy says, "I don't want to sound like a sore loser, but last week stung a little bit extra to me because I know that I could have won that match, and unfortunately, I couldn't finish him when I had the chance." Christian says, "Well, Jackie, you don't sound like a sore loser. You just sound like a loser." He got some boos from the crowd at this point. But you're not a loser. Put that title over your shoulder where it belongs. It was a teachable moment last week, and it will never happen again, I'm sure of it. And listen, you guys are still tag team champions, and we can't right or wrong. I'm throwing a challenge to any top 5 team right now. And who shows up? Ricky Starks. Top 5 team right here. Hello. How are you? Ranked number 3 team right here. Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. Hello, Christian, and hello, Jurassic Express. Anytime, any place, Dynamite, Rampage, you two versus me, and Powerhouse Hobbs. Let's do it, boys. Then Luchasaurus let out like a dinosaur roar, and that was the segment.
Yeah. So actually, Jungle Boy says, one second, I have it in the notes. He goes, "Growl at them," and then Luchasaurus goes, "Bleh."
Oh, I didn't hear it.
That was fucking hilarious, bro. Growl at them.
That's funny then, because I literally watched that segment twice, and I missed it both times. So.
Yeah, man, that was some funny shit.
But then we get to we get to my favorite part of the night, or one of my favorite parts of the night. We get Lance Archer versus Wardlow. Lance Archer comes out first, and then MJF's music hits, and where's MJF? He is in another suite again. He says, "I'm seeing a lot of women. Do you know that what women use as birth control?" And then Sean Spears says, "No, what?" And then he says, "Their personality." And then he says, "Bring out the pig," who gets no music again. But before the bell rings, Archer jumps off the top rope, hitting Wardlow. Wardlow pulls out a nice Hurricane Rana here on Lance Archer. I didn't even know Wardlow could do a Hurricane Rana.
Dude, oh my god, he looks great.
He does look great. I cannot wait until he beats MJF, man. It was at this point my TV went out. My TV our internet was like bad yesterday. So my internet like crashed, and so it went black. But so when we came back, both men got to their feet at a 4 count, They were trading blows back and forth. Archer, quick shot to Wardlow. Wardlow's back. And then Archer does a flip off the rope thing. And then chokeslams Wardlow for a 2 count. Archer then puts Wardlow up, hits a blackout. Wardlow rolls. He hit. So Archer hit 1 blackout, and then he went for another blackout, but Wardlow rolled Archer up for a 2 count. Archer then puts Wardlow on the top rope, and he takes too long this time, and Wardlow starts headbutting Archer many times. He then hits a senton on Archer, but Archer kicked out. Wardlow hit 1 powerbomb and then another powerbomb, and by this time there was 4 powerbombs, and then Wardlow covers Archer for the win. After the match, the crowd is chanting Wardlow, and MJF is pissed. Wardlow gets handcuffed, and then Wardlow walks off. You know, we knew this was going to happen. We knew Wardlow was going to win this match, and we knew that I was kind of glad that we were also concerned with it being a squash match, and we definitely didn't get a squash match yesterday.
No, we did. We got a good wrestling match. Both guys looked great. Obviously, Wardlow looked a lot of it better. But Lance Archer didn't look like a slump either.
No,
this is Lance Archer we're talking about. He has the most singles wins in the entire company, in the history of the company.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see who Wardlow is facing. Oh wait, we already know. We'll get into it later. I was about to say I can't wait to see who he is facing next, but we'll get into it. We'll get into it later.
Oh yeah.
It was at this moment. JAS is in the ring with JHS is just in the ring by themselves. And I have one comment here before I start here, and that's change fucking Jericho's theme music, bro. Yeah, I'm going to say it every day I'm on this podcast. The crowd is fucking singing along to Judas, bro. Stop that shit.
Yeah, it's not helping anybody.
No. It's literally not helping a single soul.
No, it just makes for an awkward first 30 seconds of every single... Because they always have to acknowledge it, you know what I mean? Every single time they're going to have to acknowledge it. So it just makes for an awkward beginning of every single promo or segment that they do.
Yeah, and I mean, it's honestly kind of annoying at this point to me because the crowd's singing and you want us to boo JHS. Why would we boo JHS when frickin' Judas is great? I know you don't like it, but I do. But
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the song, but I'm a huge fan of Jericho. I like Jericho and I like his reinvention of the character.
That's just because you're a guitarist. You know how to play guitar, so you have an appreciation for music.
Yeah, Jericho's awesome. I love his podcast.
But so yeah, crowd singing along to Judas, and then Angelo Parker, I believe, says, "All right, that's enough. The world's greatest promoter gave the time to us because Tony Khan knows sports entertainers are what's best for business. In order to have this sit down, we gave our word to Tony Khan, and just like we gave our word to AEW Galaxy." And I laughed at this because obviously WWE Universe, AEW Galaxy.
Yep.
It's so funny. There will be no physicality in this ring tonight. We both agreed upon it. Get them out here. Eddie and Santana and Ortiz walk out. Jericho says, "Like I said before, you're lucky to be living in the Chris Jericho era. Yet you deprived the great people of Pittsburgh of seeing me last week and had us kicked out of the arena on Rampage. It is what people pay to see. The people pay to see us, and you took that away. So I demand you apologize to the 5 of us now." Ortiz says, "Where are my manners? As a matter of fact, I have something better than an apology." Richie, you have something for him too? Santana and Ortiz both show their middle fingers to JHS. And then Santana says, "Your problem, you turned your back on us, the 2 of us that were with you on the front line." Daniel says, "Whoa, I get it, you guys think you're so tough." And then he roasts them, but then they really just don't mean anything. He says, "It's not like you can hit us." Then Eddie says, "Enough, stop. I hate this crap. I hate this chair." He throws the chair out of the ring. He throws the table out of the ring. "I do not care about sports entertainment crap. I told you I'll get you regardless. Chris, stop the crap and let's fight." Jericho says, "Here's a problem, Kingston. It's 5-on-3, and you stupid son of a bitches are too stupid to realize it. So we are going to take you out one by one. The Jericho Appreciation Society is putting a hit on all of your asses. Eddie says, do you know what a hit is? Do you know that?
Oh my gosh.
In my
Can I
world,
interject really
you
quick?
You can.
All right. So this is something that annoys me about Eddie Kingston. Well, first of all, it's not a secret that Eddie gets really worked up in his promos. There was a story, I would say about a week or two ago, that after the Punk promo, he was fuming hot backstage.
Hmm.
And it wasn't till he saw a kid that he finally got to calm down. So what it seems like every single time, and I don't know why he does this. I don't know if he feels like some sort of like better than Jericho, but every single time Jericho and Kingston have a promo, Jericho says something, and then Eddie Kingston's like, "Do you even know what that word means? Do you even know back in my, in my area, this means this, that, and the third." It's like, fucker, you just sound stupid. You just sound like you don't know how to interpret words. Like, you don't sound like a big tough guy. You just sound stupid.
I get what you're saying. But I don't know. I kind of looked at it as Eddie Kingston was kind of pulling those like real, because he's from like the streets or something, isn't he?
Well, don't say that, but yeah, he's from the Bronx.
The Bronx. Okay. So I mean, when he I mean, he's just pulling those real life examples for to so people can relate to something.
Yeah, it just for me it makes the situation really uncomfortable because it makes Chris Jericho out to be some, I don't want to say it, but it makes him feel like he said something like wrong, like really like offensive
I get that.
to Kingston.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just feel like it makes for an awkward situation whenever he does it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Also, I would just like to say that I just purchased an FTR hoodie. Support your favorite wrestlers.
FTR, FTR,
Yep.
FTR. But he says, in my world, a hit means you end things. You're going to listen now. Jericho says, what are you going to do, hit me? So Tony Khan fires you? No wrestling company wants you. This is your last chance, so sit there and shut your mouth, bitch. And then Eddie says, I smell fear coming off of you. When you say hit, you have to be prepared to put people in the ground. When we put you guys in the ground, are you prepared to put people in the ground? Nah. And then Eddie Kingston walks off.
Yeah. A very intense promo for sure. And Jericho sold it like a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Did you see his eyes, bro?
Yeah, man.
Crazy. I can't wait till this feud. Obviously, it's going to... the culmination of this feud is probably going to be at Double or Nothing. I can't wait to see like them work with other different people. But I mean, this feud is pretty good though.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the name of the fourth member, but I think that they're gonna be getting their old faction from TNA together. It was Eddie Kingston, Proud and Powerful, Homicide, and then the other guy that I cannot think of his name. But yeah, that would definitely even the odds 5-on-5 right there.
Yeah, that would, and that might be our blood and guts match, honestly.
Yep, and I cannot wait because as ignorant as I sound, I've never seen one of AEW's blood and guts matches.
I also have not, so it's going to be great for both of us.
Yep.
In this match, or the next match, we get Shida versus Serena Deeb here. It's a Philly street fight, and I just want to make a note that this was the 5th match in this feud that began in October of last year, so almost a year. And to me, this really doesn't feel like long-term booking, but I mean, I guess it could be. I'm just really tired of this, and I'm glad that no fuck shit has happened in this match.
Yeah, so I enjoyed all 5 of their matches, but the issue was there wasn't really any story other than these girls are mad at each other, Yeah. And I feel like it didn't really need to be 5 times. What they maybe should have done is thrown both of these women into the Owen Hart tournament.
Yeah.
Maybe have them meet in the finals, something like that. Obviously, they're trying to throw as many storylines into that tournament as possible, so it might have been a little bit crowded if that was the case. But still, it did feel like I don't know. Maybe this should have been on a pay-per-view. I feel like it needed more stakes.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It just it really just didn't do like enough for me.
Yeah. I think what they were trying to do is like maybe like I don't know, like a best of seven situation, like a
Maybe, yeah,
playoff series thing. But I feel like they should have. I don't know. The commentator should have brought it up or something. Maybe like a graphic that showed like the stats within the matches. Just literally anything to make it very blatantly obvious that this is like a series. Like this is the fifth
yeah,
match, but the commentator just kind of like, well, you better know this because we're not going to bring it up.
yep, yeah. And I mean, and that just makes people not care about it.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Especially the casual viewer, that
yeah,
didn't know that these guys wrestled 5 times. Like to
yeah,
them, it would just why these women hate each other so much. It makes no sense to them.
yeah. You know what's crazy about about casual viewers, right? Like when I watch a wrestling show, right? I've always watched it just week after week. I don't
Yeah.
think like I could watch like one episode and then like 3 weeks later watch another episode and then like 4 weeks later watch another episode. You know,
Uh,
I don't think I
yeah,
could do that.
yeah, I definitely know what you mean.
I definitely couldn't
Well,
do
for
that.
us, we eat, breathe, we everything wrestling.
Yeah,
If we're not in the loop, we feel like out of the loop. But I
I
know for a lot of people, it's just like a football game to them. You know what I mean? Like they'll catch it sometimes.
yeah. Well, you know, pro wrestling to me has always been like pretty nice because I mean, if you can't tell, obviously this is the Lions jersey I have on right now. I am a huge football fan, so for me, wrestling has always been that bridge between the football season and the baseball season. So, and then I'll start watching baseball more again, and then like towards the later of the MLB season, I'll like kind of like I would usually start watching wrestling more. But
Yeah, for sure. For me, what I always loved it was always during the week. Like so, I remember being a kid, and I used to be in a program called School of Rock, which essentially meant that my weekends were all taken up. But with wrestling, that didn't matter because Raw was on Mondays, and for a little bit of time, SmackDown was on Thursdays. SmackDown was on Friday. It was possible, and so it was always available to me.
Charlie had a conversation with his parents, and he says, "I want to rock."
Yeah, that's how it went down.
Good times, good times. Um, Shida gets into the ring here immediately. Gets into the ring, tries to hit Deeb with her kendo stick, and she successfully hits her with her kendo stick. Oh, I'm sorry. Deeb dodges it and uppercuts the Shida. Shida then grounds and pounds the Deeb. Shida hits a nice missile drop kick, knocking Deeb out of the ring. Shida pulls out a chair under the ring, sets it up, going for that knee strike when she launches herself on the chair. But instead, they get back into the ring. Shida then sets Deeb across the apron. Oh, Deeb across the apron. And knee strikes to the ribs. Deeb rolls out of the ring, and then Deeb hits Shida's knee with a chair to block a knee strike from Shida. Then Deeb hits a knee breaker on the chair, and we cut to commercial. After the break, Deeb was then sitting in the chair, and when we cut back, Shida launches Deeb's face first into the chair. Deeb then goes under the ring, pulls out some white powder, and throws it into the eyes of Shida. Shida, then Deeb hits the kendo stick on Shida, and then Shida gets a back body drop from Deeb. And then at this point she like couldn't see, and Shida picks up a kendo stick, and picks up the kendo stick and then hits Deeb out of the ring. And then at this point, Shida knew she had like a couple seconds of space, so she goes to a fan and she gets water and pours it on her face. This is a great touch.
Can I interject really quick?
Yes.
So when Shida was swinging the kendo stick round, she rocked Shida, or she rocked Deeb like bad.
Yeah.
Like she clipped her on her chin, and I think Deeb needed actual time to recover right there.
Probably.
Because she got rocked, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean,
right across the face.
And I'm sure that's what the referee told told Shida when the referee went over to her.
Yeah, they're probably like, chill your face.
Yeah.
Like, chill out, bro.
Yeah. Yep. And then so Deeb then I'm sorry. She throws Deeb into the ring, and she hits Deeb with the kendo stick. Deeb then puts a chair up, and then Shida hits Deeb with the chair actually, and hits a avalanche Falcon's arrow, but Deeb kicks out at 2. Deeb puts her thumb in Shida's eye, and then Deeb checks on the chair, but Shida kicks out. Then Deeb locks in the Serenity Lock, and then Deeb hammers Shida's knee on the chair until she locks in the Texas Cloverleaf this time, and this time Shida taps out. And then they cut to Thunder Rosa watching from the monitor in approval. So it looks like we're going to be getting Serena Deeb versus Thunder Rosa, and I'm all in.
Yeah, that'll be a great match, and exactly the kind of opponent that we were talking that Thunder Rosa needs. Somebody where she can actually work a match with, somebody not to. I'm not saying this is an insult, obviously. Somebody not as heavy as Nyla Rose, where she can like throw her around a little bit. You know what I mean? Work a wrestling match a little bit better.
Yeah, it's great to see that. I mean, it's great, and it's great to see that like we've gotten Serena Deeb built up a lot over the past couple of months.
Oh yeah, she looks like a beast.
Yeah, and so it's gonna be great to see her versus Thunder Rosa. It's gonna be a tough physical matchup.
So, I know a lot of people complain about the women's division, but we have 4 women who look like good, like built up. We got Jade Cargill, who looks unstoppable. We got Thunder Rosa, who's obviously the champion.
What?
We got Nyla Rose, who just almost beat Thunder Rosa.
What?
And we have Deeb, who's been, like I said, with Jade Cargill, pretty much unstoppable. Like, we got a nice-ass women's division right here.
What?
Exactly.
But, yeah, we do have a nice women's division here. And who knows who might come into the division later,
Yeah. I mean, shit. I mean, it makes you feel bad, somebody like Ruby Soho, who probably is like, oh man, I'm in AEW, I finally get my big break. Then she gets here, and then she realizes, oh, they actually have good wrestlers here?
Yeah.
Like, not saying that Ruby Soho is not a bad wrestler, but, like, there are multiple better in the locker room at AEW.
I really do hope that Rampage gets, another hour of television, because I do think they move through it way too quick. And I do think that it would be nice to see some more of the talent on TV.
Yeah, I think an hour and a half feels unprofessional. I can't really tell you why it feels unprofessional.
It just does.
Do you kind of agree with that?
I do. I think you definitely just got to make it 2 hours.
Yeah, an hour and a half feels like you asked the network if you could have 2 hours, and like, you can't have 2 hours, but you can have an hour and a half. That's what an hour and a half
Yeah,
feels
I mean, that's just another match, if you really think about it.
Yeah, 100%. But 2 hours, yeah. Let's make it mid-card in Women's Division Central, and we got a great second show.
Yeah, exactly. We finally, Charlie, get the name of this.
I'm so sorry. One more thing.
Yeah.
JR should not be allowed to commentate women's matches anymore. So, did you notice what he said?
No.
So he goes, Shida looks very Americanized lately.
I did hear that. I did hear that.
Dude, oh my God, JR, you can't say that, brother.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I had no problem with it.
Well, yeah, so basically, not to get obviously super political, but the issue with it is, it's like you gotta be, not everybody needs to be Americanized, JR. Not everybody needs to be Bam Bam, or not Bam Bam, freaking, who's the guy? What's that guy's name? Huh? Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Not everybody needs to be Hacksaw Jim Duggan,
Yeah, you got a great point there. Great point.
For sure. But yeah, just JR, he just says some very questionable things. But he's getting better, He's definitely getting better.
Yeah. I mean, hey, the man had cancer. Give him a break.
That's a good point. All right, so you get one break, JR, because he had cancer. Next time you're done for.
I think he gets multiple breaks.
How many breaks does he get, just so I'm clear?
3 strikes, he's out.
All right, very well. We got 2 more, brother.
MJF promo with Lexi Nair here. We finally learned of our interviewer's name, Charlie.
Yes, our main character of our show, Lexi Nair.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm excited to finally learn her name and be able to refer to her.
I know. I can't wait. Are you ready? Let's get into
Yeah,
it.
I'm ready.
Lexi says, here with MJF and Shawn Spears. MJF, you seem shockingly calm, considering we saw Wardlow defeat Lance Archer. MJF says, you see, that's because Lindsay, I have a plan. And then Lexi says, it's Lexi. And then MJF says, oh my God, it's Lexi? I had no idea. Sweetheart, I am so sorry. Get out of my frame! And then he screams it at the top of his lungs. And then he says, can you hand me the phone to Shawn Spears? I am calm. I have a plan. Hey, big man, how would you like 6 figures for one match? All right, Wardlow is going up against someone who is smarter, who is stronger, who is taller than him. And you can't teach that. Big Cass, and I don't know what he's going to be called now, we'll be there next week. And will Enzo be with him? We will see.
Yeah, so Big Cass, who's known now as W. Morrissey, he's been tearing it up at Impact. He just had a title shot against Moose, I believe, at their past pay-per-view. Or not, their last pay-per-view, not the past one, but the one before that. But yeah, dude's been tearing it up lately ever since he's left WWE, and he looks like a monster, and he's built like a machine.
Yeah, I just got, one sentence, and you can't teach that, man.
And you can't teach that.
Dude, like, I loved, before the show, me and Charlie went back and watched one of their old WWE promos, and it got me hyped, bro. It got me hyped.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if Enzo is going to be there.
I hope so.
I really hope so.
Fingers crossed.
But, man, they're going in as heels, though. How are you going to boo Enzo?
I mean, yeah, you're right. If he's going in at heels, maybe they don't have Enzo, just for that simple reason. When Cass was in AEW, he actually operated as a heel. So I definitely could see, Cass coming out only too.
There you go.
But yeah, so Wardlow versus Big Cass next week. Obviously, Wardlow's gonna win that, and we will go over that on the pre-show.
Yeah, they're running out of big men. They are running out.
I said that they were running out last week, and Tony Khan found scoured the dumpster and found Big Cass. So.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure what they're gonna do for this next month. I could see, I mentioned this in the chat in the pre-show. I could see something like Spears versus Wardlow, but Spears can use weapons and Wardlow can't. They could probably do something gimmicky like that.
Yeah, and I was also thinking about this, like to get from here to the pay-per-view. I gotta feel like they gotta put Wardlow through at least 2 more matches after this. And then probably the next 2 weeks on promos.
I literally just thought about this as your last sentence was being presented. I could honestly see MJF versus Wardlow happening before Double or Nothing, and then some fuck shit happening, and then maybe we get MJF versus Wardlow in a cage at Double or Nothing.
Yeah, maybe.
That would make sense.
Yeah, maybe.
Pay-per-view's name is Double or Nothing.
Yeah, definitely. Isn't there is there like a battle royale, right?
Are you thinking of the Casino Battle Royale?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you are right, yeah. I believe that's at Double or Nothing. I can Google it while you do to the next segment.
Sweet. So, we cut to Fuego, who was laying on the...
Poor Fuego, bro. Fuego. 1 second, that shit was so funny.
It was. He was just laying spread eagle on the ground.
It was, bro.
And he got taken out by House of Black. He, I can't remember Penta's talking piece, but he was into the ring on a rope, under a robe. He says, House of Black, don't you know it's sacrilegious to remove a luchador's mask? You're going to get burned for the men who loved deception. I can't believe you didn't know we were going to blindside you. Penta walks out with Pac, and Rey Fenix was behind House of Black under the robe. Rey Fenix then returns with a shovel, and Buddy takes the shovel away. Ray Phoenix super kicks Buddy, and then foot stomps, and then the Pac, Penta, and Phoenix tope suicide at the same time, and the Lucha Bros and Pac stand tall in the ring.
Yeah, I'm a huge Lucha Bros fan. Penta's my wallpaper on my phone. I'm actually absolutely huge fans, and I just googled it. So they got something called the Casino Battle Royale, and when you win, you get a future AEW World Championship match.
Oh.
Yep. Jungle Boy is the guy who won last year.
No way.
Yep.
Cannot wait to see who wins this year.
Yeah, I truly have no idea where they would even go with that. But as terms of the feud that we got going, I know this isn't a hot take. Does House of Black look weak to you?
Kind of. They haven't really done anything.
Yeah, so I believe it was Excalibur. He kind of put them over or saved them, I'd say, by saying like, "Oh, it might have been part of their plan. Like they got smiles on their face." But this segment just made them look stupid, unfortunately.
Yeah, it kind of did. But I would like to see how. I mean, I kind of thought, when we were getting House of Black, I thought we were going to be getting a little more meaningful storylines with them, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's definitely not what we got.
Yeah, everything's just so. I don't even know, like, not even close to being wrapped up with them right now. Like,
No.
Julia Hart situation, we don't know what's going on with Malachi's eye, We can't even understand what they're saying in their promos. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what they need to do, but they need to give us more to relate to them or make more sense, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. You are 100% right. After the Lucha Brothers standing in the ring, we cut to a backstage promo with Swerve and Darby. Swerve says, "Whoa, Tony, friend is a strong word when referring to me and Darby. I consider us rivals, but it's a new day and I've grown up. I'm looking to turn Rampage into whose house? Swerve house, as I beat you." Darby says, "Swerve, you can't keep coming into companies and claiming it's your house. I hate to break it to you, but it's Darby's house. I've been here since day one. And Friday on Rampage, I'll show you exactly why this tournament is Darby's tournament." Swerve says, "Good luck with that." That was funny.
It was funny. It was a good segment. Obviously, this is 50-50 booking in the sense that I don't know who is going to win this match. I truly have no idea.
Yeah,
they're pushing Swerve and Keith Lee, and Darby Allin needs a big win. Well, I guess he did just kind of get that win with the coffin match.
Yeah.
I still have no idea who's going to win this match.
I think Darby will.
I hope so. I do hope so.
Oh, actually, I do. I read the spoilers by accident.
Oh, man. Okay. Wilson, do you know who's going to win?
I do.
Okay, I don't want to know any other spoilers except for who won that match.
Darby.
Okay, good. Good. Very good.
The Undisputed Elite versus Dante Martin, Brock Anderson, Lee Johnson, and Varsity Blondes. Charlie, this is just the match that you want to see on your TV, is it not?
No, this isn't at all what I want to see on my television. So I actually have to apologize because I was under the impression that it was Elite versus Jobbers. However, it felt like they were doing Elite versus Young Guys. Not so much Jobbers, just Young Guys.
Yep.
So I was wrong about that, and I thought Young Guys looked good. They did a cool little angle where like the Young Guys kind of got the better of the Elite in the beginning, and the Elite had to like come together and configure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to apologize because I absolutely shit on this match in the pre-show, and I didn't really understand what they were going for until the match actually started.
Fair enough. But yeah, so as you said during your little speech there, both teams were coming up to the plan in the corner, which was I thought that was a great spot. It looked great. Like, it just added to that, like, big feel that, both teams were planning what they were doing.
Yeah, it felt like a team sport.
It did, 100%. Undisputed Elite takes everybody off the apron. They single out Dante Martin here. Matt Jackson is in the ring with Dante. Matt then tags in Kyle O'Reilly. Dante Martin takes down Kyle O'Reilly and hits Matt with a dropkick. Dante puts Kyle O'Reilly in a wrist lock and then he tags in Brian Pillman. Nick then takes out both of the Varsity Blondes, and the Bucks were looking to super kick Lee Johnson, but Brock Anderson takes him out with a double clotheslines as they exit the ring. Fish hits a exploder suplex to Brock Anderson, and then Dante Martin hits a springboard dropkick on Bobby Fish. Lee Johnson then flips, takes out the Bucks, then Dante takes out Fish and O'Reilly. 5 of them stand tall under the ring, and we cut to commercial. After the break, Brock Anderson then tags in Lee Johnson. Matt and Nick super kick Lee. Fish hits a nice high roundhouse to Brian Pillman, and the Bucks take the rest of the team off the apron. And then Matt plants Lee and then takes out the Varsity Blondes. Nick flips over Matt and then takes out the Varsity Blondes again, and Cole gets into the ring. He's on the rope here, and he's watching the Bucks and Fish and O'Reilly hit a 4-way BTE trigger, and then Cole lowers the boom on Big Shotty, and Undisputed Elite win the match. And after the match, Cole, Fish, Kyle O'Reilly put their Undisputed Elite shirts on. And then Cole went over to the Bucks and handed them their own T-shirts. So they're not left out. They get T-shirts, Charlie, and they stand tall into the ring.
Yeah, this was it wasn't like a good match, but it didn't really need to be. You know what I mean? It was very chaotic.
Yeah.
But it was a 5-man tag match. Like, shit, what do you want?
No, yeah.
If you have a coordinated 5-man tag match, you kind of defeat the purpose of a 5-man tag match. So the match did what they needed to do. Elite got the win, and it was under like 10 minutes, which was perfect.
Yeah, no, I thought this was a great match. Honestly, not a great match, but like a pretty good match.
It did what it needed to do.
Yeah, I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Same exact thing.
Yes, sir. Then it's time for the main. Oh, actually, I lied. It's not time for the main event. Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie Kingston gets his eyebrows fired off.
He does. We get a Jericho Appreciation Society backstage segment. Matt Menard said, "Hey, newsman, you want a scoop? I got a scoop for you. Take a look." Santana's on.
I love Matt Menard, man, so much. Dude is so funny.
He is funny. He's funny.
Always. I feel like he's got like a constant like coke situation that always goes up his nose at a constant rate, bro.
Yeah, something like that, bro.
Maybe
like
it's his gum that's got some coke in
it. Maybe he's extracting the cocoa leaves. I don't know.
Yeah.
Santana is on the ground at this point, writhing in pain. Same thing to Ortiz. JHS has Eddie, and Jericho lights a piece of paper on fire, and then it explodes in Eddie's face. Jericho and JHS run while the fire department and many of the AEW locker rooms attends to Eddie, and Eddie was screaming, "My face, my face!" Except expect Eddie to have no eyebrows next week. And Tony Khan probably went up to Eddie and said, "You're gonna lose your eyebrows this week," and then he responded, "Got it, boss."
Yeah, you got it. Like, shit, you did all this for me. I can lose my eyebrows, bro. All right, so I'm shit on Eddie too much in this episode, and I love Eddie Kingston, but I got one more for him. His eyebrows never really fit his face, if you ask me. Because he got this rough-looking face, this rough-looking body, but his eyebrows were always so perfect. It never fit.
That's funny.
So I'm glad he's getting a fresh start. Jericho kind of helped him out there. But yeah, like you said, expect him to come out with no eyebrows. It should be hilarious.
Yeah, it will be hilarious. And finally, it is time for the main event, Charlie. I got a couple comments about this match.
Go for it.
So let me just fire them, and then you can reply with what you think.
All right.
Okay, first off, Sammy is not making Scorpio Sky look any better, and Scorpio Sky is not helping Sammy at all, in my opinion. I'm gonna just go through all of them. I got 4 here, and then I'll let you speak.
Go for it.
My next comment is not enough time to do anything. 15 minutes was definitely not enough time for this ladder match. They should have gave this more time to let the match breathe.
Yeah.
My next comment is hot potato booking. Number one, it devalues the championship, and we don't want it to feel like the Intercontinental Championship in WWE. We want this championship to get more consistent and the title to be booked better. The championship really doesn't feel important to me right now, and I don't take either of these guys really as TNT Championship worthy right now. I don't know. Now that's a bad phrasing, but I don't feel like the TNT Championship is as high as it should be right now.
Yeah. So obviously the hot potato booking is never what you want to do with the title, despite what Bruce and Vince seem to think. But I believe that this isn't a result of a long-term story, or long-term booking. I think this is a result of rolling with the punches. I feel like they realized how bad of a reaction Sammy and Ty Conti were getting, and they thought that there's absolutely no way we can have this man win a championship, So, or I'm like, hold the championship rather. But when I think about it even further, why would you have? I don't know. This is what they should have done. They should have had Sammy beat Ethan Page with a low blow for not a title, right? So you want to get to me, you have to beat my boy, right? You can easy. Then have him beat Ethan with the low blow. Bam! Now he's got heat, and Scorpio can play the babyface. You can't have heel versus heel in a TNT title match because that makes the TNT title feel worthless, right?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, so this is no fault on the wrestlers themselves. The matches that they had were great. They were, especially this ladder match, it did feel rushed, but if you put all the spots together in like a YouTube compilation with some new metal in the background, like it'll look like a good match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just felt a little bit rushed. If you make it 5 minutes longer, and you do all the same moves and you don't add a single more move, it would have felt so much better. Be able to breathe a little bit more.
Yeah, no.
And Sammy wouldn't have had to no sell that ladder with the barbed wire on it, which he literally did.
Yeah.
He no sold that ladder, man.
Yeah, we'll get into it. I think he kind of had to do that because he just didn't have enough time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
What?
we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Nothing,
And my last comment was I'm concerned that this dynamic, that this feud between Sammy and Scorpio is gonna turn American Top Team face. Especially if they're getting a lot of cheers. You especially don't want them cheering for Dane Lambert. No reason people should be cheering for Scorpio Sky, Paige Van Zant, etc. And I think if this keeps going, it might lead to some go away heat on Ty Conti and Sammy Guevara, and we definitely don't want to see that.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm in the minority on. I usually am pretty privy to what's going on in the IWC and what the opinions are. I truly don't know what the public opinion is on Sammy and Tay together. I know some people find them to be decent heels, and some people want them off their screen. I'm personally in the second boat. I want them off my screen. I don't, and I'm not saying this because I'm some weird sex deprived man. Like, I have a girlfriend that I live with. I don't want to see people making out on my television screen. I'm sorry. I don't want. It's not even heat at that point. Like, what the fuck are you even doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for one reason and one reason only, Charlie, and that's pro fucking wrestling.
Yeah, this isn't NXT, bro, where we have makeout competitions.
No, it's not. It is not. You're 100% right. But it is messing up the whole entire heel and face dynamic.
Yeah, it is. And what they need to do now is they need to have Scorp and Paige Van Zant go over Sammy and take Hansi. I don't care how they do it. I don't care if it's with fuck shit.
Yeah.
They need to lose. Sammy and Tay need to lose, and they need to get off TV for at least a month.
Yep.
They need to give us time to process. And if they want to come back as heels, they can. And if they want to come back as baby faces, have them break up on television. It's easy. This shit is easy.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get into the match here. Let's get into the match here. Scorpio throws Sammy into the barricade. body shots to Sammy. Scorpio again throws Sammy into the barricade. He then grabs the ladder. Sammy avoids the drop kick and then hits Sammy with a ladder. Sammy German suplexes Sky on the ramp. Sammy was doing snow angels, and like, why would you do that? Like, at that point, you're really just making a mockery of a TNT championship. Like, I don't want to see my champion fucking doing snow angels on the fucking ramp.
Especially with the limited time they have.
Yes.
Yeah, but
yes.
you know, Sammy's young. These are the mistakes that he's gonna make. You know, when he's young. But in a time slot like that, you're in a title match, bro. You're trying to get as many moves in as possible, homie. You ain't got time to do snow angels. I don't care if you're trying to get heat. You can get heat doing wrestling moves. Exactly. You know, you want to get heat, poke him in the eye. That'll get you heat.
Exactly.
You don't have to do snow angels for 30 seconds on the ramp.
You're right. You are 100% right. Sky gets knocked off the ladder by Sammy. Sammy then did a flip, totally missed Sky. And it looked like it hurt Sammy.
Yeah.
Sammy definitely deserved that.
Yeah, well, when you do stupid, I love Sammy. I love Sammy as a wrestler. I don't like his character, but he does way too much stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to chill out.
Yep.
His bump card, it looks big. It looks like it's got a lot of room now. But if you keep this shit up, you can have like half the career that most pro wrestlers have. You're gonna be done by the time you're 35, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Sky then hits a TKO in midair, and Sammy pulls out. Oh, we gotta add it to the counter, Char.
Yep.
We were up to 3 kicks in midair counter.
Right.
It is up. It is updated. Sky pulls out the ladder wrapped in barbed wire. Sky puts it into the ring. Sammy then reverses TKO, hits a standing Spanish Fly onto the barbed wire ladder. That looks like it hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Ty Conti then kicks Dan Lambert in the nuts. Paige Van Zant runs out for the save. Sammy and Ty Conti take over. Sammy and Ty then introduce the barbed wire ladder again. Sammy hits a flatliner to Sammy. Sky climbs the ladder. Ty Conti then climbs on Sky's back. Paige Van Zant climbs on Sammy's back. And both girls tee off on the top of one another. They go back down the ring. A roundhouse takes a roundhouse from Paige. Takes Ty Conti on the ground. Sammy grabs Sky's jaw. Sammy then knocks Sky off the top. And Sky drops the ladder. Sammy falls right on the barbed wire ladder. And springs off the rope. Sky then drops Sammy again. Gets and grabs the belt to win. After the match, Ethan Page and Frankie Kazarian walk out. Frankie Kazarian handshakes with Scorpio Sky. And again, why are we back and forth with the title? I hate that.
Yeah, I know. It does suck. And once again, it's not long-term booking. That's what you have to remember. Because it's not long-term booking. This wasn't the plan, which is, I feel like, a really important detail.
It is.
Because it's obvious they didn't do this on purpose. They don't want to treat the TNT title, Brody Lee's title, like this. But yeah, I feel now we got to get Scorp against a hot baby face. I don't even know who that might be. I'm too sick to even think about it. But yeah, just get him against a good baby face, and we can get them rolling as heels again.
Yeah, exactly. And then put America's Top Team against some good baby faces. Put Sammy against some good baby faces, and we'll be rocking and rolling.
Oh yes.
But thank you guys so much for watching. Before we end, just want to say, if you guys did enjoy that video, click that like button, click that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter, guys. You guys can see our Twitters down below our names and on the bottom of your screen right there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys could check out our Rampage review on Sunday, along with our TikTok videos that we'll be posting throughout the rest of the week.
Yeah, and I should be nice and healthy by Sunday, so you'll get my beautiful face up on the screen, and my voice won't sound so, scraggly. But yeah, this was a fun show, and we had a lot of fun debates. It was a good one.
We did.
Yeah.
As Charlie always says, Charlie, you got to do your line.
Oh, yes, of course. I forgot about my line. We all have to treat each other with respect and support your local independent wrestling. I went to my GCW show.
You did.
And I bought a T-shirt and I bought a sticker from Bandito. So you got to support your independent wrestling.
You do. So you heard it from Charlie. Show some respect, show some support for independent wrestling, and we will see you guys on a Sunday in our Rampage and our new show. So hope to see you guys there. In the meantime.